We just got an update from head coach Todd Bowles from this Bucky Irvin situation, and it's good news. Bucky will be ready for week number 13, according to his head coach, saying that he's trending up and playing next week. We're just preparing him for the Arizona game, and that's what he will be ready for. Saying that he has not been going through much off the field, he just didn't handle the injury well. This seems like a big overblown situation by both Rondé Barber and also what's his face, Florio. These guys absolutely causing fantasy football panic and turmoil in the news industry because they want to act like they've got some sort of information and they can't divulge some secret that will be made available to everybody soon. But Todd Bowles just told you he's not going through much off the field. He didn't handle the injury well, but they're trending up and playing next week, or he's trending up and playing next week, and they're just preparing Bucky for the Arizona game. That's what he will be ready for, his head coach said. That's fantastic news. Joe Burrow, potentially not as much of a lock for week number 12 as we thought. Bucky playing week 13. Joe Burrow probably playing week 13. But will Joe Burrow play week 12? We know Dart won't play week 12. He is out. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, great news on the Bucky front. Todd Bowles making it pretty clear that unless there's some sort of setback or some unforeseen situation, that Bucky is preparing to and will be ready for the Arizona Cardinals in week 13, but he is ruled out for week number 12. Bucky will not play this week in week number 12, but expected to play week 13. So that's fantastic news for all of you that have been waiting on pins and needles for a resolution or some sort of concrete date or target return date. We got it. Joe Burrow, this one's perplexing to me because I just don't understand how Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow is a player you prepare, run with the ones all week. We're sitting here on a Friday now debating whether Flacco is going to start or not. The only thing that I can think of is they're trying to give Joe Burrow as much preparation as possible heading into the next week because they're on a short week. And so they're just trying to get him as ramped up as they can get him because he won't have as much time to prepare next week. But it's a wild one for sure. At the end of the day, it does feel like Burrow is now leaning more toward a 50-50 for week number 12. Just kind of astonishing that he's looking so great. He's out there. The thinking is probably that his timetable for return is he's still so far ahead of schedule. They're afraid that even though he looks good right now, he takes any kind of hit, his foot bends at all, that he could just go right back to square one. So they're trying to play it safe. Joe Burrow is going to lobby to play. It's going to come down to the medical team making a determination of whether he's at major risk if his foot gets caught up in any sort of, tackle. Can he survive, one brutal bending of that toe and foot? If not, then they'll want to wait one more week because he's so far away from his timetable of return. So far ahead of his timetable of return. He's literally 2 weeks essentially ahead of what people expected it to take. And there's the timetables are there for a reason because, you have to go through so many weeks of healing before, you're ready to go out there and take a hit or have your foot get bent and not have some sort of recidivism. But Burrow is definitely, I think still in play to play week 12. We're just waiting upon news. It just looks like it's more 50-50 than we thought, which is crazy to me because they've been running him out there with the ones and Flacco. You're giving Flacco no run until now. Flacco's, I'm sure, taking some snaps. We don't see all the practice stuff. It's not everything's open to the media, but it certainly feels like they've been moving on and Flacco has been sitting on the sideline getting Joe Burrow water or coffee or cigars. And now all of a sudden, Flacco's got to get back into the mix to play. He's a veteran. He'll be able to pick it up pretty quickly, but it's still wild that they've been running Burrow out there. They're not. If you were going to have a chance of Burrow sitting, you'd probably split the snaps all week long, not just wait until Friday. But it's crazy. We'll have more news on Burrow as the day unfolds. Probably at 8 p.m. we'll have even more on Bucky and even more on Burrow. But right now I wanted to get out here, do this breaking news show, talk to you all about this situation because some of you are on pins and needles about Bucky. Bucky will play week 13 unless there's some sort of crazy unforeseen circumstance. Again, the quote from Todd Bowles is that he's not been going through much off the field, just that he didn't handle the injury well. He was just upset. He had never been hurt before, and so he took it hard. That's it. That's what everyone's crying and complaining about. That's what everybody's saying is a big, huge mental health thing for Bucky. It wasn't. And Florio and Rondé Barber making a big scene out of this situation, acting like they can't talk about something. We'll let you know. I'll tell you off air what's going on. And Todd Bowles is telling you that he's not going through much off the field. He just didn't handle it well. That he's preparing for next week. We're just preparing him for the Arizona Cardinal game. And that's what he'll be ready for, said Todd Bowles. So fire Bucky up for week number 13. Fire Sean Tucker up for this upcoming week 12. Sean Tucker is going to probably at least Saturn. That's our boy Sean Tucker is going to eat a lot of meatloaf.
I smell meatloaf.
Fire Sean Tucker up. If you got Sean Tucker, you get him in your lineup. Sean Tucker is going to feast in week number freaking 12. And if he doesn't, even more of a reason that Bucky's going to feast upon his return. But Tucker's so good, I think he'll play really, really well. Tucker, whenever's called upon, explodes. Last year, this is the reason why we were so high on Tucker in the offseason and why we couldn't understand, and I still am baffled why this team was using Rachaad White at all. Sean Tucker's so dynamic, so strong, so elusive, so powerful. He is the running back that should be in there if you're ever taking Bucky out or Bucky's sitting or you're spelling Bucky or Bucky's injured or whatever. Sean Tucker is a 100-yard, total yard player and a touchdown almost every game he starts. So great news for everybody that's got Bucky. Fantastic news. Bucky set to play week 13, sit week 12. Sean Tucker gets his run for 1 week, and then Sean Tucker probably maintains that change of pace role. Wouldn't be surprised if it was near 50-50 split the first game back, but Bucky's so dynamic and elusive, I'm sure he'll have a good game. But it might be something where we walk into week number 13 and we do have a little bit more of a dilemma on our hands with some of our starting options with Bucky, because Bucky probably won't be 100% fully unleashed in that week 13 matchup against the Cardinals. It's great news. I'd say it's more so great news for all the playoff, implications in fantasy weeks 15, 16, 17, more so than weeks 13 and 14. But I do think 14 will be a lot better than 13. 13 could be a little bit of one of those, well, what if you got Sean Tucker and Bucky? Which one do you start in week 13 if Tucker goes out there and has 120 yards and 2 touchdowns in week number 12? It will be a debate. It will be something we have to attack when the time comes. But for right now, it's good news that Bucky is on the rise and back in week 13. Burrow, I'll let you know on Burrow. Burrow being out, if he is, in fact, out week 12. This is TBA. It could be posturing. Seems like it's 50-50. If Burrow does sit week number 12, it is kind of a downgrade to Chase Brown, who's already got a very tough matchup. Now, they use Chase Brown a ton, even with Flacco, but the offense will be limited without Jamar Chase, which will mean we'll see a different kind of scheming against Chase Brown. And T. Higgins having to I think, carry a lot of the weight. It could be good for him. It could be bad for him. It could be good for both Chase Brown and T. Higgins because they get more volume, but are they going to be more efficient with more defensive attention? Hard to say. But Chase Brown is still a fantastic play. He always will be every time he's on the field, but this does put his value a little bit in question because Joe Burrow out there feeding T. Higgins, Joe Burrow out there as a gunslinger, keeping defenses a little bit more honest. I know Flacco did good 2 games ago, but he did not do good last week. There's definitely more of a, okay, Chase Brown has more room to run with Joe Burrow in there. And Joe Burrow loves Chase Brown. Not that Flacco hasn't dumped off to him, but Joe Burrow is going to look for him and really kind of utilize Chase Brown as much as possible, way more than normal, I would imagine, because Jamar Chase is out. I just don't know if Flacco will be as good. Let's hit the couple of super chats that we got here. Brent, appreciate you. PPR, Genty, Hendy, Devontae Smith, Rome, JMO, Sean Tucker. I need to bench one. I don't know who. I'd probably bench. It's either going to be, and I don't want to bench Genty, but it's either going to be Genty or probably Rome. Devontae Smith, Rome, and Genty are all really close. The only locks I can tell you are Hendy and JMO. If I'm benching one, you got to weigh out the fact that Rome can explode or disappear. I mean, there's pros and cons to Rome Odunze. You sit him the wrong week, he has 110 and 2 touchdowns. You start him the wrong week, he has 30 yards because Caleb doesn't target him. Devontae Smith is in the same boat. I think, you probably could look at Genty's matchup and how he's been playing lately, and how not just him, how he's been producing is the better word, because he plays tough, he plays as good as he can, but you give him 6 carries, what in the hell? What else do you expect? I would say Genty's probably your safest bench. Your highest upside play with more risk would be Genty over Rome, but Rome does have some, I think, built-in floor in PPR, and this is PPR that I'd probably say Genty is the unfortunate sit. But I'm not telling any of you other Genty owners to sit him. It's just in his situation, that's a tough call. Dak, appreciate you. You've got May, Gibbs, Genty, Harvey, Woody, Tucker, Hampton, Benson, Jamar, Waddle, Tet, Mooney, Tyler Warren. Any moves looking to pair a few players to get an elite guy? I would probably say you're keeping May, you're keeping Gibbs, you're keeping Harvey because you can't get enough for Harvey. Hampton's nice, so why don't we move Genty and Benson, or Genty, Benson, and Waddle? Tet's got good trade value, but I like keeping Tet. So my first objective would be to keep Hampton, move Genty and Waddle, Genty, Benson, Waddle for one JJ and something, for Dowdle and something, for Buka, maybe even in something still. Rice straight up in a way. Tet and Genty might get you more. You could potentially get Rico in a really nice piece. You could get Rice and something. You could definitely get Buka and something. Those would be the ways I would attack your team. Appreciate you, Dark, for dropping the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. All right, file on in. I know notifications didn't go out. We got a real slim crew, skeleton crew in here now. That drives me nuts about YouTube. Whenever I go live immediately after another live stream, they assume, okay, I know somebody checked, I want all notifications, but do they really? Because this guy goes live sometimes like 5 times in a day, and we think it's going to bug the YouTube viewer. So we're going to make a executive decision not to send out this alert because it's too close to the last one. It drives me nuts. And if you guys don't want to have this problem, all you got to do is become a part of the Patreon, because anytime I go live, I post the link on the Patreon, and my Patreon crew gets alerted that I'm live, and then we have a nice little conversation like we are right now. So get on over to the Patreon, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Link is in the description of the video. Link should be pinned in the live chat, but that's a way to know when I go live. Traded Mahomes for Smith and plus Devontae Smith for Allen. I'd probably rather have Josh Allen, but close. Traded Bucky for Gainwell. That's horrible. I don't know why you're putting a flex emoji on that, Ryan. That's an awful trade. Why are we flexing over that? We got the robotic flex. We got a moon and then a plane next to traded Bucky for Gainwell. That is an awful, putrid trade. I appreciate you being here and dropping the message, my boy, but that is one of the worst trades I've seen this week. What are we flexing over that for? Tell me you didn't. Tell me it's the other way around. Tell me you wrote it wrong. Tell me you meant to say traded for Bucky using Gainwell. What in the heck is going on here, bro? Jeez. You guys giving Bucky away like you're paying somebody to take Bucky is what you just did. Juwan Johnson or Rashad White. Juwan Johnson, Rashad White could get some run. I mean, probably will, but I guess Juwan, I suppose. What's this guy doing over here with this trade? Ryan, you got an explanation for yourself? Why in the hell would you trade Bucky Irving for Gainwell? I don't think Ryan's gonna post what his logic was. I mean, Ryan, did you fall down and hit accept on accident? Bump your head on the button? Like what are we doing flexing? How are you allowed to use a moon emoji and a robot flex emoji with that trade? It doesn't matter if he has to win this week. There's no difference. There's no relevance at all. You still can't do that trade. Ah. All right. Gainwell's not guaranteed. I like Gainwell a lot, but that's wild. That is wild. Play 2. Buka, Olave, Hall, Tyler Warren, and Pearsall and Tootin. Buka's a lock. I think I'd probably go Tyler Warren for safety. Breece Hall. I mean, it's hard not to talk about Olave, too. These are all really close, so trust your gut. Chat, weigh in on this one. We're starting Buka, but what other second player? Olave, Hall, or Tyler Warren? I'm probably going to say Tyler Warren for safety, Hall for high risk, high reward if we need a big swing. Jeez, man. You can't get decent trades for London. I'm sorry. I do want... Is he going to explain his trade? I don't know if he is. This is a wild trade, bro. Just imagine him typing in flex emoji, moon emoji, boom. Smitty, what do you think of that one? Chat, do we start Pittman, Henderson, Monty, or JMO in the flex? Oh, that's a tough one, bro. You're talking about like probably Hendy. Stevenson is back. By the way, we got a little bit. We'll cover a majority of this news at 8 p.m. as well, but we do have more news. Stevenson is. Let me see if I can pull this up. Stevenson is back. Booty's back this week, but that doesn't scare me off. You know, the Stevenson news. It doesn't bother me. If anything, he's just going to injure himself coming back too early, trying not to lose his job in his mind. But Stevenson toe expected to play week 12. Turf toe is nasty, bro. And the worst thing you could do is come back early. That's just going to set him up for failure. Did that guy explain? I don't think he explained his trade. I don't blame him. I mean, I didn't mean to like last it, but where is it at? Gainwell. Yeah, Ryan, are you going to explain the trade, bro? This one? Bucky for Gainwell? What are we doing back there, bro? Burnt Toast, appreciate your super chat, young man. Traded Tootin and Hendy for AJ Brown. I don't know why are we all flexing about bad trades? what is this bizarro world? Bro, see, I'm not saying that this can't work out for you. Like AJ Brown has been, you know, he's obviously solid. But I mean, he's got upside. Obviously, he's in turmoil right now. He's a diva. He's mixed up. Everything's going weird over there in Philly. But I wouldn't trade Hendy, bro, for AJ Brown. And you're giving up Tootin and then dropping 4 flexing emojis. Like, what is it? What are we doing? How confident are we right now today? What bizarro land that we're in? We got 4 flexing emojis on this bad trade. We got a moon, a plane, and a flexing emoji on this bad trade. Now it could work out for you, Brosi, but I don't think that's worth putting 4 flex emojis. Okay. Let's see here. 1 PPR, flex Fannin, Jacoby, or Tootin this week. I'm gonna go. None of these are. I'm gonna go Tootin if he plays, but if not, then you're gonna have to go Fannin. But we gotta stay on the news for that one. 2 flex Stevenson, Watson, Pearsall, Myers, or Burden. I'm probably gonna go Watson, and I would say Pearsall for safety, Watson and Burden for high risk, high reward, big swing. I think Burden's either gonna get you 2 points or 18. Smitty, my running back room is Barkley, Bucky, Hendy, Woody, Tucker, and wide receiver Pickens, Debo, Mooney, Keenan. Got offered Hendo and Mooney for JMO and Sharps. I'd take Hendy. I love JMO, but I'm taking Hendy. Take the running back. Take the top 5 to 10 running back. Easy call, I think, at the end of the day. Trade away Allen for Geno. There you go, David. Proper usage of the flexing emoji. Trade away Allen for Geno. That's proper. We live in bizarro land, so makes sense. Well, Stevenson hurt Hendy. I just addressed that, bad boy. I'm not worried about it. I think everybody's got a backup running back. And is there a world where they use Hendy and Stevenson 50-50 and we're really frustrated? Sure. I mean, there's a world for everything. But it's hard to imagine Hendy losing anything but like some of that grunt work up the gut. But remember, Stevenson with a turf toe. I think no, it's all right, fat boy. It's okay to ask the question, but I think he gets injured if they start running Stevenson so much that we're frustrated, like we're royally frustrated with the situation. They're going to injure him. They're going to injure Stevenson coming off of his turf toe. I don't think his turf toe is going to be near 100%. He could be actually very limited all year, but anything's possible. Always prepare for the worst, man. This is 2025, the year that everything fell apart. This is, I wouldn't even call it Bloody Sunday. I'd call it bloody year. Bloody 17 Sundays in a row. This is the craziest year ever. But yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting. Traded Jamar Chase, JT, and CMC, and JSN for Smitty. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you. It's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure, my boy. Traded CD and Amon Ra for his Aubrey. There we go. All right, now you guys are having fun. Ted or JMO or Javonte Williams? If that's James, yeah, JMO, Javonte. Okay, I'd probably go Ted for safety. I would go JMO for high risk, high reward. Like JMO is the one I want to play. Ted is a lot safer. You kind of got to pick your poison. America's foot. Good job forecast. Loveland or Wright? Probably Loveland, but Wright's decent with Laporte out. He's the replacement, obviously, for anybody that doesn't know. Wright's not bad. Probably go Loveland, though. Wouldn't be shocked if Wright scored a touchdown. I'll say that. But I do think Loveland does have a little more overall upside. Definitely do. Juwan, Rashad White, Juwan Johnson, but I don't like either of those options, RJ. There's got to be somebody better. There's got to be traded. All right. Start one of Genty, Brees, Ibuka, Jameson. Bro, come on. Buka. I'm going to start Buka, but like this is, you got so many good options here. Like you should have been making trades, my man. Wandell or Moody, probably, I don't know. Moody could do well, but I don't trust him yet. I don't trust him yet. All right, guys, we're probably not staying long. I just wanted to come in and give this update here. So for those that are coming in late, Bucky Irving out week 12, but will play week 13, according to his head coach. He says he's not going through much off the field. which completely contradicts every piece of bad reporting on this topic that has been shoveled out there to you, causing a state of panic, causing people to trade Bucky for Gainwell. He's not going through much off the field. He just didn't handle injury well. It was the first time he was hurt, and it bothered him. I mean, I can understand it. Am I mad at him because he wanted to be on the field? No. Was there some sort of mental health situation brewing? Maybe, but it was about him wanting to be on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Calvin Ridley wanting to step away from the field. If there's a mental health issue, it's about Bucky wanting to be on the field. That's pretty damn good. I think Bucky Irving will be fine. I think that his coach said not going through much off the field, just not handling well, that he can't play football. But he's trending up and playing next week. We're just preparing him for the Arizona Cardinal game. That's what he will be ready for. End quote from his coach, Todd Bowles. Sounds pretty good to me. Sounds like Bucky is ready to rumble week number 13.
You've just been...
Sounds like Sean Tucker, though, is going to the mother freaking moon for week 12. So get your Sean Tucker started. And Burrow feels like a shaky bet for week 12 now, which is asinine because they've been running them with the ones all week. This is bad preparation. If this is true and not posturing, which I feel like it could be, but if they sit this man, it's crazy, man. to have been putting Burrow out there all week and just having Flacco get coffee. Now, obviously, Flacco's experienced enough that he can step in, but you want to try and win these games. Having your number one quarterback for the week, taking all the reps with the twos all week long until Friday, if Flacco is the number one, is not a recipe for winning a game when you can't afford to lose one single game going forward. This is a botchery. It's a botch job. I'll see you all. Dart out. By the way, Winston will start. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Appreciate every single one of you. Brantley with a super chat here. Brantley says, I'm 4-7. Traded Chase and Mike Wilson for Buka and Benson. Is that a good trade? No. God, what is in the water today? I mean, I like Buka and I like Benson. And is there a world where this could work out? Sure. But trading Jamar Chase for, I mean, actually 4-7. Yeah, you know what? Brantley, you kind of had to do this. I wish you could have got more, but let me come back real quick because his 4-7 record. Yeah, Brantley, you kind of had to do that. I hate that you had to do it, but you kind of had to do that. He's 4-7. Brantley can't afford to be without Jamar Chase. Guys, did Brantley make the right choice? What other choice did he have? Brantley, I wouldn't say you did bad. I don't think you did bad. You just you had to do what you had to do. At the end of the day, Buka's so close to Jamar Chase in the sense that you get Benson and Benson works out, you'll be happy. I'm fine with this trade. I'm sorry, Brantley. When I looked at the 4-7 record,
You've just been
it totally understandable. I think I would. Let me give you even more reassurance. I think I would have done it too. Trade deadline closing in. The best offer you got included Buka. I think you can't get mad at that. In fact, if you came to me and said, hey, Smitty, come up with 2 players to go get for Jamar Chase, I cannot afford a loss. I'm 4-7. Buka would have been one of the names I listed, obviously. Rice, Buka, Dowdle, those are the guys I'm going to tell you to get. And then I would have said, get somebody else. And if you would have came to me and said Benson, I would have said, okay, who else? But if you couldn't bring up another name, I would have said do it. So in retrospect, I shouldn't have acted like that wasn't the move to make. That 4-7, you had to do it. I Smitty approve it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Thank you, Brantley. Nice trade at the end of the day, even though it was not a nice trade. My boy. Brantley to the moon. Thanks, Brantley. Thanks for clarifying your record, too. Otherwise, I would have probably been like, why'd you do that? But no, that makes sense. Guys, I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please, see you at 8. Don't be late.